sitting down with us.
For sure.
Man, I like to say I'm handsome too. Thank you, Mars. And lovely. So to that part, just piggybacking on these two, I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors. So those people who are in the building, we have Diverse City, Bronzeville Podcast, Moore's Beers, and Southside Radio Live.
Yeah.
And I'd like to also give a get well soon to Kingdom Rock.
Absolutely.
Shout out Kingdom Rock.
Shout out to Kingdom Rock. I also like to say to Parquet, hold your head, brother. See you soon when you get back. And on top of that, rest in peace to Tommy Skills Fingers, one of the prolific hip-hop producers who came back to the city. He was back from Atlanta, and he was working on some projects here with Brian Gorman and also a couple of other people. So, yeah.
Yes.
So, rest in peace.
Love and power.
So, to that part, back to you, Mars.
Go ahead. Rest in peace, 45 King. Right, March the 45 King passed away today. Yeah, rest in peace to him too. Yes. Ain't no Jay, no Queen Latifah without him, huh?
Wow.
Man, it's definitely.
We're nearing the end of the year, and it seems like that's when this just multiplies.
Well, I think it's just a moment to like really reflect and then be grateful, right?
Absolutely.
Because we all ultimately make that transition, so it's really time to acknowledge that and just like keep amplifying what's good.
Yeah.
And that's why you're here. Definitely.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because it's about time. I mean, like you're always interviewing and doing interviews and pieces and writing to highlight and to lift up people in the community. And so why not you have your opportunity to do the same? Wow. And that's basically what this podcast is about, is uplifting, educating, and celebrating hip-hop practitioners and of Chicago.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to have you here to do that. You are our first of a kind in the 2 seasons. I think you're a first of a kind, being that you're a writer as well as, writer in the sense of like literature and work versus and a writer, a rapper.
Yeah.
Or also artist. So what do you prefer?
So
DJ.
I'll take the hyphenates, right? So I'll say an MC, a photographer, a writer, the culture. I'm the culture.
You're motivational speaker and a business
motivational
owner.
speaker. Right.
And a father of
two. Most importantly, a father of three.
You had 3 now?
Yeah, 3 sons.
That's it?
Yeah, I'm done.
Got nothing but boys and you, huh?
Yeah, because I saw some of your
Kings.
The seeds. Wait, how old is your youngest?
My youngest is 19. He's at Rockford University, killing it right now.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sunset.
Yeah. Shout out Nasir, Khalid, Shaheem. Shout out to them.
Wait, that sounds like a group.
Right. That sounds like a hip hop group.
Yeah.
So to that part, let's start off with. I'm curious to like, how did you get into the rollout situation?
So with rolling out, that's an interesting story. So, in the streets, people know me as Precise, right? So I'm an MC first. So, and I was writing a blog. It's called Precise Music. So Precise, MUZIC, precisemusic.com. So I was doing my blog, and I also had a blog spot, like the Google one. I don't know if you guys remember that, but Blogspot. So that's how, so around that time, the blogs were huge, and what I found was that I could create my own space and just promote myself and talk about what I wanted to. So that's what I was doing with my music, doing, little features or whatever on my space. And I was invited out to perform at a fundraiser for the Obama Library. This was many years ago before it even got started. So I was invited to perform there, and as I walked in the door, shout out to TJ Crawford. So TJ Crawford was in the building. Shout out to TJ Crawford. He was like, "Hey, Precise, come over here." He was like, "Hey, man, he just asked me straight out, you want to write for Rolling Out?" And I was like, "Yeah." Wow. And then here I am.
Wow.
9 years later, right? So shout out to TJ Crawford for that, because he's the reason why I'm there. Because he is the face of Rolling Out. Because because he helped bring it to the city. It started in Atlanta. TJ helped bring it to the city, and it was something that a lot of people. It's something that a lot of people aspire to, was to be in Rolling Out, right?
Yeah, no, that's
absolutely
right.
For real, that was like our Source magazine.
Yes. So it's on celebrates 25 years next year.
Wow.
I came on as a writer and a photographer. I didn't know that people didn't do both things. I've always had a camera, so
right.
So it was just, if I'm going to be there, I'm going to take some pictures and I'll write about it too. So it was just something that I've been doing, and I just took on a new role at the top of the year as a brand strategist. So I'm an executive here for Rolling Out. So I'm sort of the Midwest liaison for the brand. So so that's
double-breasted.
Yes.
And if anybody wants to see like write-ups on top of photography, you can go to Rollout. He's done pieces as recently on man Malik Youssef.
You did one on Malik Youssef.
You also did. You covered No Name Gypsy, but people were able to see the photography work along with the writing.
Rollingout.com. Rollingout.com. Yeah.
Okay. And so there's no specific page or like website for the Chicago branch, because there are many branches, right? I just heard you mention the Midwest and Atlanta.
Well, we're in 19 markets.
Nice.
But the platform itself is rollingout.com.
Rollingout.com.
And I know a lot of people are used to the physical publication, a print publication.
Yes.
We're not really doing as much print anymore. And I always want to make the distinction to mention that it's Rolling Out the brand, right? It's not a magazine, because we operate as a multimedia platform. Yeah. So we do everything, right?
That was a smart way to pivot, because the days of magazines and physical newspaper publications and social media changed the game with that.
Yep.
So that's a testament to the work that y'all doing over there, Rolling Out, that y'all were able to
Definitely.
pivot.
Shout out to Munson Steve, the CEO of rollingout.com. So thank you for having me, brother.
Man, no, thank you. Because you keeping us in the loop. Like, I didn't make Lollapalooza, so low key, I just jumped on your page, and I'm getting all caught up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So to that part, and you also have advocated for the Haitian community. So when I was doing some research, you had advocated for a Southside restaurant. Is it Lori?
It's Leor's Cafe.
Leor's.
On 105th and Halsted.
Right.
So that's actually pretty, that's an exciting thing, because number one, if I want a Haitian food in Chicago right now, there's a woman who may be cooking it out of her home, like on the southeast side. But if I wanted to go to a restaurant, I have to go to Evanston.
Wow.
I don't mind that drive, but that's a long drive from the Hunters, right?
Yeah, no.
So I'm in the Hunters. So, and then the type of restaurant that it is, it's not a walk. It's not a restaurant you walk in and you got to talk to somebody behind some bulletproof glass, right? It's an actual sit down restaurant. It's beautiful. Yep, the artwork is beautiful and the food is amazing. Yeah. So shout out to Jean-Claude Aurel for his vision. To bring that type of establishment to the south side of Chicago. Nice. And what I hope it does is that it sparks more like that, because our communities deserve that just like everybody else, right? Yeah. I shouldn't have to go to the West Loop to have something walkable or some good food in my community other than fried foods or pizza, right?
Yeah.
So definitely. So not that I have anything against that, but we need more. We need choices, and we deserve it.
And our first guest for the second season, Static, actually did pieces on the wall.
Ramen Static, he did. Definitely.
Killed
Jean-Claude, he has Dusable on the wall, right? Jean-Baptiste Point Dusable, the founder of Chicago.
Yes.
Jean-Jacques Dessalines and Toussaint Louverture, and some young ladies. I can't remember everyone's name, but the piece is amazing.
He did his homework, because I'm sitting up there, I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, I didn't even see this piece, so I got to slide, that way. It's definitely worth it.
And it just speaks to the power of art, right? And how that can transform the community, and that's in so many different facets, from the colors to being able to tell a story through that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's important to highlight all cultures, like you said.
I agree.
And expose that community to that type of food.
Yep.
Because you in Roseland, West Pullman area, you really don't have much variety in culture for foods and businesses even to patronize versus what we used to. So,
and let's keep it real. Like, we are in a city that was founded and settled by a Haitian man.
Yes.
Right? And we don't talk about that enough. That's why Chicago's so raw. Like, to me, Chicago, shout out to Sherman Dilla Thomas. He talks about everything dope is because of Chicago. Oh, yeah, I totally believe that. I'm 100% with that. This city, this beauty that we have right here is because a Haitian man settled with his wife, right, on Lake Shore.
So to that point, when you were talking about Haitian people are human, and you had that conversation on the coalition of the Haitian American Organization in Chicago, that was dope, man. That was dope because what I liked about that piece where you're downtown, you're advocating for Haitians, and you're talking about situations that's going on, is that same fire you have on stage, you actually hit it there when you were doing the speech.
It is, and even to be more specific, that was around the time, I think that was just towards the end of the pandemic, and there were Haitian, it's interesting because especially about this time we're in right now, but there were Haitian migrants that were coming up on the borders of Texas who were being chased down by men on horses with whips, right? And it was just inhumane. And it was white supremacy in your face, right? Right now, so we had to speak to that. That organization actually, they actually created that specific protest, and I appreciate them for that, and I appreciate them for giving me a space to say something about that, because one of the things that when we're talking about this situation right now, because we have a situation in Chicago right now with the migrants,
absolutely,
right? So, and when we think about these migrants, we're thinking about Venezuelans, right? Yeah. But those aren't the only migrants that are coming here. There are groups of Haitian migrants that are coming up here. There are migrants from all over the world who are coming here. A lot of this is happening because it's politically driven. Yes. But ultimately, these are real live people with families coming up here. Yeah. And this is something that we need to acknowledge and do something that is going to be positive for everyone involved.
Yeah, and for the communities, so that it can be a nice changeover and a meshing of the community. Definitely. I couldn't imagine coming to a country for a better life. I don't speak the language. I don't really know how to communicate other than through music, and then receiving a lot of backlash. So the organizations like what you work. Were you involved with the naming of the Lakeshore Drive?
I was not. No. Shout out to Ephraim Martin and Alderman David Moore and Sophia King. Absolutely. Those are the individuals that came together and did that. Because think about it, I mentioned that this is the gentleman that founded our city. Yeah. And essentially before that, there was a small bust on. This is the guy who founded the city. There was a bust on the bridge on Michigan Avenue. There should be something that is. I still don't feel like. I feel like the fact that it's called DuSable Lakeshore Drive. I still feel a way about that. Right? Yeah. We already know it's a lake there, right?
Right.
This is DuSable Drive.
It's like redundant. Lakeshore Drive.
Right. I know it's a lake here. This is DuSable Drive. Right. Just make it that. But, whatever. But I had no part in making that happen. Shout out to the individuals that I named before. They did that. And it's just a testament to shows that what we can really do when we come together.
Absolutely.
So, with you, put forth the effort to be motivational speaker, like be an advocate in the community for the black community and then Haitians and et cetera, how is that reflected in some of your past music? Because when I doing my homework, you made a comment where it's like once you hit the stage, you give people all you got. It's a crowd's responsibility to give you nothing, right? But then you went on to say it's your responsibility as an artist, as an entertainer, to provide for something they love and can remember. And that was when you was on the City Vanguard, Point City, 2020, 2013. So to that part, like...
So, yeah, I think... So, I really believe in the power of music and what it can do, right? I believe that our words have power. And I believe that we should be extremely intentional about what we say, how we say it, and what we're delivering to the people. So with respect to the music that I create, one of my biggest songs is called It's On Me, right? And so that's what people know me for. Like if somebody asks you about Precise, that's the song that they know. So It's On Me is really a song where it's about being responsible, right? Because ultimately, you know, you can blame everybody and anybody for your problems, but ultimately the buck stops with you, and it's on you to make that change. So it really comes down to understanding that. And I say, well, if I have the ability, since God has blessed me with the ability to use words to communicate any type of message, I need to communicate a message that is going to edify and something that is going to uplift and add value to the culture.
Got it.
Thanks.
So with that being said, when you did that project, It's On Me, was that...
Shout out to Ty Hill, he produced it.
Yeah. He produced, helped you, you co-produced the Ladies Love.
Ladies Love
Mix
project
and Thunder.
DJ Thunder, yeah.
DJ Thunder, yeah. So that was all three of them coming together as a collective. So when you did that, It's On the joint, It's On Me. With that all being said, like, was that the true intentions, just to push that message? Like, what else did you do to push that narrative? I know you dropped music. I know you also followed up with a video, but was there like any other like things you did to kind of push that narrative? Which is, and that album is still, that single is still on Bandcamp too.
Yes, on Bandcamp, it's on iTunes, it's on, anywhere you can stream music.
Instagram music, TikTok music.
It's everywhere. Well,
run them numbers up.
To answer your question, I mean, that just comes down to who I am as a man. So It's on me. It's on me to take care of my sons and be available for them in the best way that I can. It's on me to affect change in my community the best way that I can. It's on me to speak life into total strangers that I might meet on the street, right? Because we have that ability. You know, a word we can share with somebody in passing can totally change their days.
Absolutely.
And I don't take that for granted.
So that's your motto and your mantra as a man.
My motto is to stay focused, positive, and productive. That's my motto.
Oh,
let's go.
Yeah.
So
love it.
So was that the whole concept around New Birth? You know, when you were in a group,
so
or was it something different in there?
So New Birth is the group that I was in with Chris Ideal Rice, rest in peace to Chris, and Creole, the individual Moore. That's Dr. Victor Creole, the individual Moore. He's now a doctor. Shout out to my brother. He just got engaged. Congratulations, brother.
Congrats.
So, you know, I formed a group with, because I started off as a solo artist.
Correct. Yeah.
And my name, I was a DJ first.
Right.
I started off with the name Steel. I don't know if y'all ever watch Juice. But that was the DJ name in Juice. Yeah. So I took that name. It didn't stick, but
it's okay.
That's why I stole that name. Yeah. I borrowed that name. Right?
Okay, right.
I mean, it's still, you know, wheels of steel like that.
Yeah.
But so I did that, and it's funny because back then the equipment that you would have, and I'm being a nerd right now, if you had Technique 1200s, you were the man, but I didn't have Techniques.
You had Geminis, bro.
My boy John Evans, he had just bought some new Techniques, and he used to spend with one Gemini and one Panasonic, and a Radio Shack mixer. And so he gave me that, and that's what I learned to spin on. I was really good, you know.
Scrappy.
Yeah, we're in the city. House music is where I'm from, right? So,
yeah.
Okay, I got you.
This is where I'm from. So I learned how to spin house music. Then I learned how to spin rap, and then I decided I wanted to rap. And it's interesting because we shouted out DJ the 45 King. He just passed. One of the first talent shows, and I'm showing my age right now. One of the first shows that I did as a solo artist was at this club. It was called Club O, or Club Ultimate. Your producer's laughing at me. Right. It's Club O, a Club Ultimate in Harvey, Illinois.
You was at Harvey?
I was at Harvey.
Oh, so I was out. Club O was still in Harvey for a long time. They just closed.
I think it was Club O.
Wow.
But the track I did my verse to a track that DJ the 45 King did for Latifah. It was on the B side. The track was amazing. My performance was horrible. But then it was one of my first ones. But
Growing Pains.
But what happened was I was doing more, and then I did a talent show at Olive Harvey College. I don't know if you guys are familiar with City College.
Of course.
I was going to school there, and I did. And I was in a talent show, and the judges were Armando. He was a house DJ. There was another individual, and Terry Hunter.
I read that.
A prolific prolific producer.
Yes.
He
is
house.
synonymous
Grammy
to house
nominated
music.
producer. He did the remix to "Break My Soul" by Beyonce. Shout out to Terry Hunter.
He sure did.
Yeah. Shout out to Terry
Hunter. Chicago's own.
Yeah, he's a legend.
I know that's right.
So I was in that contest and came in second, and that's where at that talent show was where I met Chris Rice, Ideal, and we connected, and then we met Vic Creole at Kurt's Chicken on Cottage Grove. And then we came together. And formed New Birth, and one of the first shows we did as New Birth was opening up for Common at Northern University.
Wow.
So, I've been really blessed. Yeah, so, I mean, of course, things happen. We formed a crew called Allergics, A2W. Shout out to Ephraim, Mike, and Amasi. Rest in peace, Amasi. And, we did some tours, did some performances here and there, and, life happens. Yeah. We become adults, and everybody kind of went their own way, and I decided to go solo. Except I got married first, was married for like 7 years, and then when I resurfaced, that's when I came back with my music.
What was it like touring? What was your favorite part of touring, I would say?
Performing is always the best part, touring the city or even going to different states. It's not as fun and glamorous as people make it sound, because you're in an automobile going from city to city, right? It's not a fun thing, but it's always fun to get on stage and perform for like frat boys and stuff like that.
Right.
Real quick, I want to go back to Rolling Out magazine. So as I was looking, like the list of people you've encountered and interviewed with Rolling Out, Rolling Out is endless. Tell me your favorite interview or your most memorable, and then I would also like to know maybe your most difficult.
My favorite interview was with Snoop Dogg.
Ooh, it was here in Chicago?
Yeah, he was here in Chicago. He had a play. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, he sure did. He went on tour, Broadway show.
Yeah. It wasn't Broadway.
Well, it was music.
I did not know this.
Yeah, he remixed a lot of gospel music, and he put the gospel music over hip hop tracks.
And it was his story.
Clark Sisters.
No, and
he had Tamar Braxton on tour with him.
He had that album, but this was an actual play he did.
Oh, this was before that.
No, all of this was happening around the same time. So he released the gospel album, but he did a play.
A play, yeah.
That was loosely based on his life.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So we were. It was at the Eddy Crown when he came here in Chicago.
I did not know that.
So the thing about Snoop is really. It's a testament to why he's been around so long, because there's nothing phony about him, right? He is who he is. He's Snoop Dogg, but he doesn't act like he's this huge star that you would think he is, because he is. I mean, he's impactful over decades.
He's a superstar.
And one thing he did, which makes it the most memorable and my favorite, was my son Khalid. He had an injury, a football injury. Shout out to my son K-Stack. I kill. Because he's an MC right now too. But he had a football injury, and he had just got it. He had just was in the hospital, just had his surgery and everything. And I asked Snoop to say something to him, and Snoop said something to my son, and it was just like the encouragement. The pure encouragement that he gave, like I'll never forget it, and I'll honor him for that forever, because it lifted my son to a whole other space, right? That I was able to share that with him. And then after that, of course, interviewing Common. I've interviewed Common multiple times.
Did he remember the moment when you opened up for him?
I never asked him that.
Okay.
I
didn't want to fan out.
No, I never asked him that.
You was focused on that interview.
But the thing about Chicago is, especially our hip hop scene, is very close knit. So everybody's seeing each other, or we've encountered each other at some point. So maybe he remembers. I don't know. And also, so that's another one of my favorite interviews. And I mean, there's so many. Like I can't even remember all the ones that I did. Not like I'm out here, like Barbara Walters.
Hey,
Charlamagne the God.
You ain't far behind.
But I've interviewed so many people. I mean, but those are my most memorable ones. I don't know if I have any that were difficult. I don't want to say the artist's name, but he came from a specific camp, and I remember I was outside. I was at a Drake show. This is when Drake and Future was touring, and it was one of Future's artists. It was a Future's artist. I won't say his name because I don't want to blow up his spot like that.
Yeah.
But I remember doing the interview, and he was just giving me one-word answers. Oh. But I remember, but that was more on me. So we're going back to It's On Me, right?
Yeah.
So that was more on me because of the way I was framing the questions, right? So just as a shout out to anybody who's doing interviews, you always want to make sure that you give room for the individual to speak and create questions, open-ended questions that allow that individual to speak.
So what I wanted to add, so to that part, what I wanted to ask you was, as an artist, are there particular like BPMs that you prefer when you write? I just want
my creative process is different, so I never really wrote to tracks that much. I would write rhymes as if I was writing poetry. So It's On Me was written before I got the track from Ty. And but I sharpened it with Ty.
Dope.
So I sharpened it with Ty. So a lot of times I'll write a verse that'll be dope, and then, whatever beat is dope with it, I'll roll with it right there.
That's definitely the magic, and definitely working with Ty Hill, true professional, and nothing like being in the studio with somebody who can actually be like, yo, articulate like this.
Yeah, for sure.
Is dope right there.
Ty's a real producer.
Ty's a real
producer.
Yeah, when they know what to sound good.
To the point you seen him in the studio with Shauna. You know what I'm saying? She infamous for the 2 mics. So I was sitting up here like watching the video footage like, yo.
Yeah, he's a real deal.
Right, yeah, definitely. No, definitely in low key, definitely trying to get Ty Hill on the show.
Yeah. You heard that, Ty.
Yeah, and then he working with Vice, and Vice came on the show.
Shout out to Vice.
Yeah, shout out to Vice.
Shout out to Drunk Uncle.
Yeah, right. The Drunk Uncles, Tony Baines and all. And did you, low key, high key, did you hear Ty Hill when he did a remix of one of Tribe's songs? I don't even know if you heard.
I've heard everything. I've heard everything Ty's done. Yeah.
Oh, you been privileged like that? Yeah. That's what's up.
Mostly, yeah. Mostly, probably not any of the newer stuff, but like most likely I've heard it. Yeah.
Man, that's dope. Yeah. So he was spitting, and I'm like, wait, that ain't Vice. I'm like, wait a minute, I think that's actually Ty Hill.
Yeah. Chicago's dope, bro.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Multifaceted,
don't sleep. Don't sleep. And are there any artists that you following right now on the hip hop?
Yeah. I mean, who do I like?
Don't
get me started. So the first half of 2023 was like, I'm like, I didn't know what was happening.
Right.
And then Osar dropped his album. Osar is amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Osar, definitely.
You got to get that album. I now know, I think it's the name of the album.
Right. Shout out to Osar.
And then No Name dropped her album.
Love her.
Definitely.
Love her.
Yo, I'm here to big up Chicago.
I'm not
gonna lie. Top 5 Chicago.
I have not heard her album yet, but I'm working on that because right now I'm listening to Heavy Crowns. I'm about to go through Vic Spencer's piece, but back to the No Name.
Yo, No Name. Yeah. Go listen to that album.
Okay.
2 of the best verses of the year are on her album.
Okay.
Nice.
Of course, Nas' album is amazing.
Okay. It's not Chicago, but
and it's not Chicago. And I'm just saying who I'm tapped into.
Yeah.
And another guy who's not Chicago, Larry June.
Love Larry.
Yo, that album right there is like, it's low key an inspirational album.
Everybody be talking about Buddy, but I don't listen to him. But I got it. He on the to-do list.
It's inspirational.
It is.
How?
A pick me up. If you want to listen to some good music without like music beats wise, and you want a little words that's gonna motivate you and pump you up.
So it's something about
Larry Jones.
I'm here again to hype up Chicago, but our cousins in Detroit. They got something there, and like again, like even when I mentioned on that album, he does a song with Big Sean.
Love that song
called Palisades.
Yes.
Wait, Larry June
on my playlist right now.
No, Larry June's from Detroit. I think.
He's from Detroit.
Yeah. So man, Detroit got
James,
something in the water. So he did this song called Palisades with Big Sean. Big Sean got one of the verses of the year on there. So that's what I'm listening to, and I listen to some other stuff too, but yeah, that's what's been in rotation.
So Larry June, No Name,
Osar, yeah.
Osar. That's enough right there. Definitely.
Are you looking to start back doing music again? And if so, who would you dream?
So, I mean,
team.
I don't know if I've
erased that question.
It's kind of like on pause right now. I was working on a project with a brother by the name of Architect in Long Island. We had recorded something over the pandemic. Architect, he's a producer, major producer, produced for like EPMD and Jodeci and that kind of thing. He's from
EPMD
NY.
and Jodeci.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. I need to look that one up.
But yeah, we worked on some stuff. There's some songs that might be floating around right now. But I haven't stopped. I mean, anytime the opportunity presents itself, I'm ready to get on the mic. And right now, however, the focus now was just to build this bag. So with this new role I have, it's kind of changed my focus up a little bit. Allow me to be in some different circles. So yeah, I'm focused on that too. But the thing about artistry is that it never goes away, right?
No, it does not.
So so I'm always ready.
Yeah. So with Mara saying what she's saying about asking you, are you still interested in doing music? Are you starting back up? And you giving your response. My question is there anything you can give to artists as relates to like putting together press kits, you know what I'm saying, going out in the media, how to present yourself? You got some cheat sheets for that?
Well, let me share this with you. So around the time I created Ladies Love Mixtapes because of my situation. So I ended up going through a divorce. So it's kind of like a release, right? So around that time, so that album is coming out like right on the tail end of the blog era. So when we talk about the blog era, that was how you were getting your music heard. So shout out to Fake Shore Drive. Shout out to Andrew, by the way, because Andrew Barber always supports me all the time. So shout out to Andrew Barber. Yeah, he is.
Music is good music though.
Yeah.
So
all the time. So shout out to him. But I bring this up to say that the blogs were the way to get your music heard. Yeah. However, one of the things that I learned, and this was from early on with New Birth, because you gotta have. It's better to have that team of individuals, and if you don't have that team, you can create the facade that you have that team. Yeah. So one of the things that I did with Ladies Love Mixtapes when I finished that was I created a PR firm called Precise Music, right? And it was so crazy because I made a quick logo out of like some music notes and I put PM on it. It was real simple. So I would send out my music to these blogs as Eddy Lamarre.
Exactly.
So as Eddy Lamarre to these blogs, and then because people respect you if they think somebody else is acting on your behalf.
Yep.
Right.
And the language, I'm sure, supported that.
And the language did support that because I'm a writer.
Exactly.
So basically, that's what I did, and I flooded every blog. So I was getting placements everywhere. And then at the end of, because I dropped it in 2014, at the end of 2014, the Chicago Reader recognized Ladies Love Mixtapes as one of the most slept on albums of the year. Wow. So I was very excited about that. I'm sharing that to say that all of the resources are available for you, right? So all of the resources are available for all artists. Right now, my son is making songs on his phone.
It's my nephew, 14 years old, is doing the same thing.
On the
phone.
I'm
like, where did you record? Like, where do you get studio money from? He doing it on his phone.
Studio money, right?
Yeah, I'm like, who took you to the studio?
Nobody.
His bedroom.
What kind of music is he making?
Rap.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And your son?
He's a rapper. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it's like, what I would say to artists now is to use what's at your disposal. Don't wait on anybody. You don't have to wait on anybody. And build a team and actually go out and perform. So this is one of the things I've been talking to my son about. It's one thing to create these songs on your phone and, and film your content and share with everybody. That's cool. But if you cannot perform on that stage, nobody's going to take you seriously. So being able to go to these open mics and get that practice in is where it matters. And I say it like this. Shout out to Hustle Simmons, by the way, too.
Yeah.
Back in
Terrence.
Yep. Shout out to Hustle Simmons, because back in 2011 we went down to South by Southwest. Hustle actually booked me as the first artist to perform at South by Southwest.
Wow.
Right. So on that showcase.
Yeah.
And so I performed. Nobody really likes to be first, but I performed, which was cool, and I thank him so much for that, because what it did was it showed people that I'm doing this.
Yes.
Right? And I'm sharing this story because guess who else was on that bill with me?
Who?
J. Cole.
Get out of here.
J. Cole was on that bill with me. Who else was on that bill? What's the brothers from Chicago? They used to, with G Count.
Oh,
LEP Boys?
LEP Bogus
LEP
Boys.
Bogus Boys, yeah.
And,
rest in peace, Law. Rest in peace,
Twin,
Law.
and Twin and them. Project Mayhem.
Oh, Project
Project Mayhem was on there.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, Hustle,
nice.
Man. That's another brother. Like, if y'all got to get Hustle Simmons on here, too, because he's done a lot.
I'll get Terrence a call. That's what's up.
Definitely hit him up. But, yeah, so I'm sharing that. I shared that, first of all, to say that, shout out Hustle, because he gave me the opportunity to go.
Was that your first time in South by Southwest?
That was, And it was amazing.
What a place to perform in South by Southwest.
It was so amazing.
That type of lineup.
Yeah, it was so amazing. That's what it's for.
Wow.
Nikki Lynette, I think, performed earlier that day. She was amazing.
Oh, wow. She's super dope.
She's super dope. But I'm sharing that to say, first off, I was there in another state, traveling, doing what we do. Like I said, I'm a rapper in Chicago, but now I'm in Texas doing this, right? And then secondly, the person who was on a bill with me, J. Cole, is arguably on the hottest run of his career. Just had his first #1 song. This is in 2011 when this happened, and now look where he is now.
Yeah.
And even to go back a little bit further, I did a showcase. It was called The Collab. Shout out to Mary Datcher. Somebody else you should probably have
goat,
up here.
Definitely.
A GOAT, definitely a legend.
Yeah.
Mary Datcher she did The Collab, and back, this is like 2010, 2009. Oh, wow. I was performing at that with Malik Youssef, Jack Frost, and
Chicago Fire.
And somebody else was supposed to be on that bill. I give you a guess who was supposed to be on that bill. There's your guess. Jeremiah was on that bill.
Oh, wow.
But he didn't show up that day, and then like a week later, Birthday Sex dropped.
Money, powder, respect. And that boy
He gone. He out of here. So yeah. Chicago does it, man. Chicago does it. Yeah.
We definitely do.
Yeah, and another prolific writer who just dropped some heat, Josh K. He just dropped some heat.
Yo, Josh K. He got a song called "I'll Take Your Girls." It's something like that. It's ridiculous. I saw they did a performance during the pandemic at a drive-in performance in like the parking lot of Soldier Field. Probably one of the dopest shows I've been to. Like Lloyd was there, Valentine,
K.
No, not K. Valentine. Bobby Valentine.
Valentino.
Bobby Valentino. Yeah.
Wow.
And one of the brothers, Pleasure P. That brother, yeah. That was
a drive. Sexy group.
Yeah, it was dope. And that was during the pandemic. But yeah, Josh K performed there, and it was pretty dope. So shout out to Josh K too.
Yeah, shout out to Josh K. Shout out to Reno Cash. Shout out to KGB over there. Yeah, they doing some. Yeah, they doing some heat. He just had a release. What was that? Life of Lifing. So
yeah, definitely just at the on Michigan.
Yep. Yeah, I was at work. That's why I didn't make it, Reno. So apologies on that. But
so when it comes to producing, because I know on your Ladies Love mixtapes too, you're listed as one of the producers. And when you say as a producer, are you contributing to the beats, like the musical production as well, or is it song composition?
So all of the above.
All of the above. Okay.
So, but there are a few tracks on there that I produce. I can't remember which ones right now, but like 2 of them I actually produce.
Hey.
As a DJ, you kind of get that muscle memory, right? So it gives you that idea, and even with New Birth, there were songs that I helped produce there. Right. So I like the idea of digging and finding music and putting it together like a puzzle and create something. Yeah. So yeah, and and being able to put that together and create something great, to me, that's awesome.
So to Mara's question, where do you go to beat dig at?
So,
have you been to Miyagi's yet?
Well, let me tell you this. So when I was with New Birth, the way that we made our tracks is I went to Carter G. Woodson Library.
Oh, right.
And I had my library card and took out some albums. I think I brought those back, so don't hold me back to
the statute of limitations.
Yeah, but we did a song called the CHICAGO, and I remember one of the albums we used was a jazz group called Kluk's Clique. And but yeah, we just went digging, and then I would just go to Dr. Wax and Hyde Park, the old Hyde Park, and just go digging and getting albums that way, or finding stuff. Now you can just go online and YouTube and snatch stuff. But yeah, digging for me was going to the record stores, listening, and just picking out pieces.
Yeah, Toby Nimble got a record store too.
Oh no, I didn't know that. Shout out to Toby Nimble.
Yeah. Contemporary something, but yeah, another spot to be dig, and he sell furniture and a lot of different trinkets.
Word.
So yeah, super dope. So yeah, with all that being said, but so to your points for artists, you recommend putting forth the effort to perform,
using the tools,
putting together a press kit. Mars brought up being you had the opportunity to actually now record on your phone, and anything else.
Man, be yourself. Be authentically yourself. One artist I forgot to mention was Zach Fox. He's not from Chicago. Okay. But do you watch Abbott Elementary? You ever watch that?
Yeah.
So remember,
Emmy Award winning.
Tariq, Quinta's boyfriend on Abbott Elementary?
Right.
He's a rapper.
No.
Do the knowledge, Zach Fox. And first of all, he's hilarious on Abbott Elementary and in his music.
Okay.
So, and the reason why I bring his name up is because he's being exactly who he is. And that can take you further than sounding or being like anybody else.
Facts.
I feel like
that's a layup right there.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I would share with all artists. And that's in every genre, whatever medium you're using, just everything. Be who you are, because God has blessed us with who we are, right? And so we're here to accomplish specific things as we are, not as anyone else.
Yep.
Be who you are, and that's going to take you exactly where you need to be.
Okay. It's only one you.
The only one.
It's only one.
So on that part, any last words, last questions?
I wanted to bring up the event that Rolling Out is doing at the Gwen Hotel.
Yes.
That I'm going to have to give me a sponsor so I can attend. But I think it's an amazingly fabulous event.
Go ahead and announce it.
Sisters with Superpowers. So it's October 26th. It's a ticketed event. It's worth the ticket. I'm more than certain of it. And it's going to be at the Gwen Hotel. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Sisters with Superpowers is a platform we use to celebrate women of color who are in powerful spaces making an impact in the community.
Nice.
So one of the people that we're honoring is Dory McWhorter. She's the CEO of the YMCA Chicago.
Oh, wow.
So she's one of our Sisters with Superpowers this year. And a few other people. It really is an opportunity for us to just honor the sisters in our community.
I love
it. Because, quiet as it's kept, the sisters are making the moves right now, right? And we need them. We need y'all.
We do.
Don't sound quiet to me. She surely read that out.
We need each other. And again, it's October 26th at the Gwen Hotel.
Yeah.
Definitely something.
1 week away.
1 week away.
Can we get media passes?
Or
can Mars at least get one?
We'll work that out.
I
We're
would
going to work that out
love to
for
be
you.
in the room.
And look, get her one. Don't worry about me.
Because I am a woman, a sister with superpowers.
Yes,
I
you
do.
are.
No, and this is, I'm not being cocky. This just is what it is.
Talk your stuff.
I have a boutique, and in my boutique, I employ teens throughout the school year and through the summer. Get them something to do.
What's the name of the boutique?
It's called Bomb Beauty Boutique.
Okay.
Yeah,
and alias is Bombay.
It's the Bomb Babe.
Okay. The Bomb Babe.
The Bomb Babe. Yeah. Okay. And all my customers are my little Bomb Babes.
I like that.
Yes, but it's very important to be amongst other sisters with superpowers.
Yes, it is.
Because then when we come together and put our superpowers together, it's the Marvel Universe.
Yes, it is.
We taking over the world.
Assemble.
Marvel Universe.
Yes. And you know what? In recent years, there's been a focus on highlighting and supporting and celebrating sisters, black women, but women in general. So I love that, and that's why I wanted to make sure we spoke about that. Anything else you got coming up that you want to share with us?
Nothing pressing. I mean, you can always follow me at precise_CHI.
Yes.
That's my Twitter. That's my IG. You can hit up my website, Precise Music. That's MUZIC, precisemusic.com. Man, hit me up. Let's talk. Let's chop it up.
If you're having a bad day or a good day, it don't matter, any day, I highly recommend you go to his Instagram and look at his, I guess motivational.
Well, I'm very intentional about the word, right? Yeah. And so that's why I love hip hop, because when I say word, it has like a double meaning, right? So I'm very intentional about the word of God, right? And and how that empowers us. And so every once in a while I would, I was on a journey I'm on this journey with my health, right? I started a group walking in the middle of the pandemic called the Tribe Called Fit.
K-Max, a lot of people support it.
Shout out to Sandra, shout out to Scott, Carlton, all of them, right? And, I lost like 60 pounds over the pandemic. Been able to keep it off. I put some back on, so I'm still working on that.
Okay.
So within the Tribe Called Fit, I would do these walks, and then afterwards I would just have a message that I would share, right? Kind of meditate on for the day. A lot of times it would be for me, but basically sharing that word with everybody. Yeah. And I do that because I feel like it's important. Right now, and I want to say this, be very clear. Right now, if we're looking at where we are in this world in terms of the energy and the vibration and how people are bold with the bogus stuff that they share. It's not only, and I'll be an old head, right? I honor that, because there's so much bold nonsense. There's shame is missing in our community, right? So that people are doing things that are just against anything that is good. And then we cover it up and say that people are expressing themselves. Look, they get to be bold with that. I get to be bold with the word of God.
That's right.
And I'm going to be even more bold with it. I'm going to speak louder, right? Because the word is powerful. And this is what guides me. I don't know what you guys follow, but that's what you see. Shout out to Dave Jackson Fly. You see who my squad is, right? My squad is at the Last Supper.
Jesus
right?
gang.
Shout out to
I know that's right.
Gang. This is my squad. So
love it.
That's who I'm rolling with. And so I share those words of encouragement for myself and for anybody else who wants to tap in with that.
Love it. Continue to be a beacon of light.
Thank you.
So to that part, can you give a shout out again to your or a plug for your location on cyberspace?
Oh yeah, at precise_CHI for Twitter and Instagram. Again, you can find me Eddy Lamarre on Facebook. Yes, that's EDDYLAMARRE on Facebook. I also have a Facebook fan page that's Precise.
Okay, and
I did not know that.
Right.
I feel like you're gonna find me if you Google Eddy Precise Lamarre. You're gonna find.
You're gonna find them. Many of things.
Yeah. You're gonna find a lot of things.
Many of things.
So
I've been really fortunate. I thank God for everything, and I really thank you guys for inviting me up.
No, thank you for real. So to that part, and I appreciate shout out to June because he actually was like, "Yo, you gotta bring him on." Yada yada yada.
Yeah,
shout
out
to
June.
GQ.
Thank you.
He was like, "Yo, you gotta bring him on." Like
GQ,
a lot of
legend.
people just throwing you up. I'm like, all right, you got to follow the roadmap. Forget it.
Thank you.
But we just want to say thank you for coming out.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother.
Again, for the pre-interview, this interview. Right now, we're going to have a prolific performer, DJ, producer by the name of Stepchild. If you haven't seen him at the Shuford Tavern, or if you haven't seen him at the Silver Room Blogger Party, you can listen to his music on Freddie Old Soul's new project that she had dropped. So with that being said, we're going to give it up for the brother Stepchild, who will be performing for us.
Shout out to Freddie Old Soul.
Yes, shout out to Freddie Old Soul and Lyrical Heart, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. All right, we out.
Black people around the world must understand that Haiti is at the forefront once again when it comes to the freedom of our people. When we actually use history as a guiding light,
It is clear that black people's suffering around the world is the business of all black people. Once this is realized and political action is taken, we will see the world transform in a way that will benefit future generations. President Biden and Vice President Harris, we are asking that swift action is taken with respect to the individuals who are seen corralling human beings at the border. We are also requesting that Title 42 is changed in order to fully embrace the ideals of a country that was built on the backs of enslaved black people and immigrants. As leaders, I compel you to do what is right. Together we can create a world that recognizes our strength for the whole of humankind. In the words of the Haitian people, la union fait la force, la union fait la force.